Happy snow day. Welcome to our first online, no class, in-person snow day lesson. All right, so the beginning of the semester just didn't start out the way that I thought it would, or the way that I hoped it would. The beginning is usually a very entertaining time for me. Um, Not so much for you, but for me it is. See what I can fit in for you. All right, so since we're not in class, in person, your extra credit is going to be due next week. Extra credits are usually always due in person, except for if we have a day like this, or um, but because I wasn't able to introduce you to everything in the course and everything first, we'll just wait till next week. Usually, if we have an online day, I will make a planned online day. I'll make a Dropbox in Blackboard for you to submit extra credit. But since we didn't, since it wasn't planned, since this snow day wasn't planned, although it was hoped for, but since it wasn't planned, we'll just wait till next week to do extra credit, and our other activities. But nonetheless, we still have work to do. So I have for you a couple of the cornerstone lessons for any writing course. And let me show you. All right, so I'm in student view here, so this should be how you see it. So you're going to go to the lessons folder. Boom. And here we are. Lesson one, course cornerstones. So the basic lessons for any writing course are the writing process and the 5 paragraph essay structure and strategy. Um, these are the two things for any writing course that you should go over, refresh, tweak, perfect, um, or figure out before the assignments start rolling through. Because you're gonna use these every time. So check out the writing process lesson. It's right here. It's a YouTube video for you. I just made it a little while ago. And then the 5 paragraph essay structure and strategy video is right there. I made that for you right after the writing process video. And the spelling list. So this is spelling list number one. We'll take the spelling quiz in class next week. In this video, I only say the words to you. I only say the word. I'm not going to spell them for you. You're going to have to figure out how to spell them and make sure you know how to spell them for the spelling quiz next Tuesday. Remember, if you want to, you can get the list yourself, the 200 most misspelled words in the American English language. And remember, we are using American spellings. We're not using British spellings. If you use the British spelling on a spelling quiz, it's going to be marked wrong because we're using the American spellings because we're in the United States of America. Yeah, that's the reason. Let's see what's next. All right, so if you have an accommodation for tests or for quizzes, and well, all right, so it's a spelling quiz. Um, Depending on what kind of accommodation you have, uh, if it affects the way you take the spelling quiz, you can email me and let me know, and I can not count the spelling quizzes for you. Like we can just get rid of the spelling quizzes and not have them count for you. Um, Depending on your accommodation. Or you can take the spelling quizzes. Either way, I want you to take the spelling quizzes when we take them, when everyone else takes them. Whether they count for you or not, whether you have an accommodation and you email me and you say you don't want them to count and they don't count, still take them when the rest of the class takes the quiz. So that you can practice test taking, practice taking a quiz. One of the reasons I do the spelling quizzes, besides wanting you to be better at spelling these words that most people misspell all the time, is so that you can work on your test taking habits. Some people just get nervous when taking tests. Some people are just, um, not good at taking tests. But there are some strategies that you can use. And if you know you're one of those people, use the spelling quizzes a as an opportunity to work on your test taking skills and habits. And we'll talk about some strategies in class. I used to teach, one of my jobs was teaching high school students how to take the SAT. And I knew what the SAT was looking for because I scored parts of the SAT. I was one of those people who, when you wrote that, when high school students write the essay for it, or the short answer parts for it, I was one of those people who read the answers and gave it a score. So yeah, we'll talk about strategies and stuff, and a lot of it is psychological, or psycho-emotional, and there's some little tricks that you can do to get into the right frame of mind using mnemonic devices and body posturing and gestures and stuff. Yeah, so it's good stuff to know. All right, so what do we say? All right, so extra credit is due in class next week. Check out the writing process lesson, the 5-paragraph essay lesson. Listen to the spelling words. Know how to spell them for spelling quiz next week. And oh, yeah. So next week also, I'm going to give you a syllabus quiz. The syllabus quiz is, I'm giving it to you because you have to read the syllabus. And the questions on the syllabus quiz are obvious questions, like what's my email address and stuff like that. So just read the syllabus. It's important to read the syllabus. And as long as you read it, as long as you skim over it, you'll be able to do fine for the syllabus quiz. And let's see, is there anything else? Nope. I think that's it. If you have any questions, any more questions, shoot me an email. Usually if you shoot me an email and I make a video, I answer most of the things that people ask. So a lot of you asked about extra credit, I just answered that. Accommodations, talked about that. And the first lessons talked about that. If you asked a question that's specific to you and not the rest of the class, I'll email you back directly. But sometimes if you ask a question, I'll put the answers in these announcements. So make sure that you check the announcements. They go to your email. So it's like I'm emailing you the answer to your question and other people's questions. So it's good to know some of this stuff. All right. I'll see you next week. Next week in class, we are going to do your pre-write for your first essay. So you might not understand what I'm talking about when I say pre-write, but you will after you review the lessons. So make sure you do that and know what a pre-write is, because we're going to do it in class. And yeah, I'm gonna check it in class. All right. Later.